Good morning to all the respected Vice Chancellors, distinguished speakers, the faculty leaders, and the participants. 99th AIU Association of Indian Universities annual meet and the national conference held at Amity University, Noida is one of the flagship events of AIU, bringing together the eminent voices in higher education from across the nation. Now, continuing the deliberation of the second day of the event, we now begin with the parallel track 4 Assessment, Evaluation, and Sustainable Campuses with the sub-theme Creating Green and Sustainable Campuses. I request the dignitaries to please take the stage. Chairperson Professor Deepti Dharmani, Vice Chancellor of Chaudhry Bansilal University, Bhiwani. Shri Sanjay Khajuria ji, former Director, Corporate Affairs and Sustainability at Nestle India. Our respected Vice Chancellor, Ma'am, Professor Balwinder Shukla, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh. Ma'am, we are privileged to have your presence in this session, ma'am. Professor S.P. Singh, sir, Director, ASN RST AIG IRS AUUP, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh. This session, definitely creating green and sustainable campuses, is a very urgent and a timely dialogue in the context of higher education's responsibility towards climate resilience and sustainable development. And this session will provide a unique opportunity for the vice chancellors, for the thought leaders present here of Indian higher education to share the insights and evolve purposeful strategies for the betterment of our nation. We are deeply honored to have as the chairperson for this session, Professor Deepti Dharmani, Vice Chancellor of Chaudhry Bansilal University, Bhiwani, a visionary academic leader. We are fortunate to have an esteemed panel of speakers joined us in an online mode as well as in an offline mode. Sir, Shri Upendra Tripathi ji will be joining us online very shortly. I will now request the session in charge, Professor D.P. Singh, sir, Dean Faculty of Architecture and Planning, to welcome all the esteemed panelists with the sapling and our respected Vice Chancellor, ma'am, as well. Can we have a big round of applause? Thank you all. Thank you so much, our Vice Chancellor, ma'am, Professor Balwinder Shukla, ma'am. Thank you so much to all the delegates as well. Now I invite the chairperson, Professor Deepti Dharmani, Vice Chancellor of Chaudhry Bansilal University, Bhiwani, to take the panel discussion forward with the opening remarks, ma'am.
Thank you, beautiful lady. And सबको सभागार में बैठे लोगों को मेरा प्रणाम। हम सब एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण विषय पर आज बात कर रहे हैं, ग्रीन एंड सस्टेनेबल कैंपसेस। अथर्ववेद के 12.1 सूक्त में, जिसको पृथ्वी सूक्त कहा जाता है, वहां एक श्लोक आता है, माता भूमि पुत्रो अहम पृथ्व्या। भूमि हमारी माता है और हम पृथ्वी के पुत्र हैं, पुत्र अथवा पुत्री हैं। वेद पाठ में हम शांति पाठ भी करते हैं, और जब हम शांति पाठ करते हैं तो पृथ्वी की शांति मांगते हैं, अंतरिक्ष की शांति मांगते हैं, वनस्पति की शांति मांगते हैं। वो किस लिए मानते हैं? बिकॉज देयर इज अ वाइड difference in the west and the eastern perspective towards ecology. West system is based on consumerism, consumption. हमारे यहाँ प्रकृति का भोग नहीं होता है, उसके साथ योग होता है. That is, we are one with the universe. 5 तत्वों को हमने जिंदगी का सार माना और 4 पुरुषार्थों को हमने हर कार्य का आधार माना. और कार्य के आधार में हमने सबसे पहला आधार धर्म माना. धर्म, अर्थ, काम, मोक्ष. लेकिन जब हम वेस्टर्न फिलॉसफी में देखते हैं तो धर्म इज नॉट द बेस. जो भारतीय संस्कृति है उसकी धरोहर उसका धर्म है. आज अगर भारत से धर्म हट जाए तो भारत की आइडेंटिटी शून्य हो जाएगी. धर्म से किया हुआ हर कार्य अर्थ के लिए मोक्ष प्रदान करता है. धर्म पर आधारित हर काम कर्म मोक्ष प्रदान करता है. तो अलग से मोक्ष की जरूरत नहीं है. इसलिए कर्म को सबसे बड़ा धर्म माना गया, कर्म योग को. आज हम उस भोग प्रवृत्ति में आकर इस पुरुषार्थों को जंबल डाउन कर गए हैं. हमने कर्म को धर्म में आधारित ना करके अर्थ पर आधारित कर दिया है. और बहुत अच्छी बात है कि पिछले दशकों से हमने इन बारे में दोबारा सोचना शुरू किया है कि हमें वास्तविकता में चाहिए क्या. हम सब जानते हैं, शिव को पूजते हैं. शिव के परिवार में शिव का वाहन नंदी है, माता का वाहन शेर है, शेर नंदी को खाता है. कार्तिकेय का वाहन मयूर है और गणेश का वाहन चूहा है. शिव के गले में सर्प हैं, एक दूसरे को खाने वाले जीव हैं. फिर भी वो एक परिवार में रहते हैं और किसी तरह का हिंसा का प्रतीक नहीं है. तो हम किस तरह से अपने 5 तत्वों को विशुद्ध रखें, किसी तरह का उसमें विकार ना आए, सस्टेनेबल किस तरह रहें. प्रकृति की सीमाओं को जब भी हमने लांघा है, प्रकृति ने हम पर वार किया है. आज जब हम ग्रीन और सस्टेनेबल कैंपस बना रहे हैं तो एक बात हम ध्यान रखें, केवल बनाने से काम नहीं होगा. गीता केवल एक श्लोक पर आधारित है, कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. लेकिन 700 श्लोक लिखे गए. वो क्यों लिखे गए? क्योंकि अर्जुन जैसा जिज्ञासुक शिष्य था और कृष्ण जैसा विराट विद्वान शिक्षक था. उनकी कोई भी शंका का निदान कृष्ण अपने ज्ञान से करते थे. ग्रीन और सस्टेनेबिलिटी की बात हम जब करेंगे तो केवल गवर्नेंस के एंड पर नहीं होगी, टीचर्स के एंड पर भी नहीं होगी. हमें स्टूडेंट्स यानी हर स्टेक होल्डर को साथ में लेकर चलना है. और इतनी गंभीर इस समय यह समस्या बन गई है कि हम उससे कैसे जूझेंगे. इट रिक्वायर्स नॉट अ सिंगल pronged एक्शन कि सरकार ने कानून बना दिया और इसका पालन हो गया. So multi-pronged action is required. So I hope that the panelists, eminent panelists that are with us will throw light on how these green campuses can be created, can be evolved, and how our younger generation, the future of India, future of the world can be sensitized into carrying forward this mission of a safe world. So with this context, let me invite you, Sanjay ji, Shri Sanjay Khajuria ji, to throw light on how Green Campus idea can be evolved. We are very happy that a person from corporate affairs, having an administrative background, widely exposed to the leadership role in sustainability and green, energy, is with us. So welcome to you, and I hope to hear you very.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. And thank you very much for the way you explained things. I'm sure all of us have learned a lot, and I've made my notes to do a little bit more research and trying to understand the perspective you brought in today. So thanks a lot for that. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Let me start by expressing heartfelt thanks to you, sir, and to Amity and Association of Indian Universities. It's really a pleasure to be here. When I came to the campus, I realized even from at the gate level, you can see greenery here, which is really good. Uh, it's a privilege to be amongst thinkers, ma'am, and educators and change makers. What bigger privilege one can have to be amongst teachers who have made us what we are today. We often say universities shape minds, but today I want to make a case that they also shape the world. And in the brief discussion which we had in the morning today, really makes me believe that, universities play a huge role, whether it's physically, environmentally, and ethically. And ma'am, as you said, sustainability is not a side project for any of us. I think we see it today. For most university, today it is, and it will remain central to the university's mission. Allow me to talk about two broad areas. Why is it important for universities to take the lead, ma'am? And what are some of the best practices? I have never worked in university, so I'm just bringing in the knowledge which I have from corporate and trying to see if those experiments and those experiences can already work here. Uh, Firstly, I think, and I'm very proud to say this, universities shape future citizens. Education is more than just information which we get in the classroom, then when we talk to a teacher, then peers and colleagues. I think universities brings in transformation. Universities are uniquely positioned to influence the value and behaviors which we talk about, sustainability being one of them, and ma'am really spoke about it. By walking the talk on sustainability, universities not just teach from the textbooks, and I was very happy to hear that most of the university teachers I spoke to, there is already a very good sense of what is happening and what should happen, even having sustainability officers in universities now. The other area, and ma'am briefly alluded to this, climate crisis is not coming, climate change is not coming, it's here already. If we think that it's going to come in next decades, I think it's incorrect. We are already witnessing floods, droughts, heat waves. And ma'am, again, every year we think that, this year garmi zyada hai. But I really believe that it's becoming more and more. We see many more heat waves coming in. Uh, Universities with the intellect and with students and teacher, I think are best suited to help out how to take the climate change related issues forward. Research and innovation, which universities are so good at, have to lead the way. Whether I speak about 1972 Stockholm Conference to Rio Earth Summit and achieving SDGs, nothing can happen without innovation, renovation, experimentation, research. Universities can lead in the areas of energy, in areas of building, and we speak briefly about that, water, food, urban planning, business models, and so on and so forth. I think universities are also most equipped when it comes to adopting, refining, evaluating, monitoring, supervising, and so on and so forth. If you were to answer, you would know better than anyone else. While we all think that sustainability is expensive, but in the long run, sustainability is cost efficient. And we have a few examples already, and there'll be many more which will come in. And from this perspective, ma'am, the last one, I believe universities are influencers. When universities speak, stakeholders listen. When universities advocate, policyholders or policymakers hear. When students say that we want sustainable products and they say that we want sustainable organizations, all stakeholders, industries, etc., they hear it and try to implement it. And ma'am, with my little experience in universities, but some experience which I bring in from corporate, I've tried to put in a few things which can be done really fast and really quickly. And I'm not saying it's not being done, but it can be escalated further. One is really shift to renewable energy, whether it's rooftop solar, whether it's labs, lecture halls. Uh, in industry, we also see now experiments where stubbles are converted to bricks, and that is being used for energy. Uh, in the long run, it really reduces the cost of energy as well. Ma'am, we can also look at rainwater harvesting system, low flow fixtures, encourage really at some stage, no waste reaches the landfill, including plastic usage and so on and so forth. Strive for green building certifications. Really, I'm sure that not everything can be retrofitted, but there are opportunities. And as a country, we are building universities. Can we start with looking at design, which is more environmentally sustainable? Can we, ma'am, make sustainability part of the curriculum? I may be learning law or I may be a law student, but can I bring in sustainability module in that? Can I talk about regulation? Can I talk about environment? Can I talk about how, as students, we can take this forward? All sustainability related initiative work when there is a mass convergence of ideas. So can there be staff and faculty engagement and really look at on a weekly, fortnightly basis, what more can be done? Ma'am, there is another area which is extremely important, which is really looking at the governance model of sustainability. As they say, what gets measured gets done. Can we have in our universities, many of them already have, but where it's not there today, can we have a chief sustainability officer given the same powers really as the senior team of the university who can actually decide things? Can we have a sustainability report which comes in so that we can see year on year what the progress is being made? Can there be a dedicated budget for green innovation? Again, coming back to the point, is it a side project or is it inline project? Look at various initiatives and various ideas which comes to us not only from India but also globally. Another area which in corporate we have seen doing very well, can we go out to communities and look at how we can work with communities to create awareness for them? It's worked there, and I'm sure universities also adopt villages and communities and it can work. Is it easy? And sir, you will tell me it all sounds very nice, but when you come to brass tacks, it takes time to do these things. Budgets are always there. The priorities are always there. Some of the buildings can be retrofitted, some cannot be retrofitted, and so on and so forth. So I'm not saying everything can be done from day one, but it's a huge opportunity. Once there is a roadmap to look at, I think we can find a way. Uh, I'll just quote from what Barack Obama said. We are the first generation to feel the effect of climate change and the last generation who can do something about it. If not us, ma'am, who will do it? And I would leave with the quote from Father of the Nation, Mahatma Gandhi, be the change that you wish to see in the world. If we decide to make these changes, I think the world will be a better place. Universities will be more greener and sustainable. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for giving me chance. I will start from where I studied. In fact, मैं एक गांव का पढ़ा हुआ हूँ और जिस स्कूल में जाता था उसमें एक सैतूस का पेड़ होता था और हम विद्यार्थी ये कोशिश करते थे कि उसके पास बैठे पढ़ाई हो रही है उसकी तरफ सैतूस गिर रहा है हम खा रहे हैं that was the life. Still, whenever I go to my village, I always visit that school and see that whether the Satus bed is there or not. Still, it is there. So this is the beginning. Madam, you have started linking vegetation green with the religion. I'm totally angry. We Indian always preserve when you make things linked with the religion. There is a very good example in our country that we have a sacred groves where you take the northeastern, you take Punjab, you take South. I think that is the best area which is having highest biodiversity available. No governance, only people. That is the importance. Since now I am from forest, I would like to speak what I experienced myself and how I have joined this university, what I felt about it. My journey started from the Forest Service. And basically, I was interested in the wildlife. I worked with the tiger conservation. When I landed over to Assam, I really realized that how people are good enough. By just making a danda by the forest department and all that, things cannot be improved upon. This has been realized long back in 1972 onwards by late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. And we started how we should involve the people. Now there is a very good questions. I will tell you. We are attending one conference on Project Elephants in the Ministry of Environment and Forest. There was a principal chief, Mr. Waglong from the government of Meghalaya. Everybody is saying that you should save elephants. What was his remarks? Yes, you save the elephant. You bring elephants to Delhi and say, I will not allow my people to kill. If my people used to eat elephant, they will eat it. So this is the kind of emotions people are having. You cannot save a forest, you cannot save vegetation until unless you will involve the people. So that is the mantra. I think you must be knowing Munshi Saab, who has started Van Mahotsav in 1950. The only idea how to create awareness that each and everybody should plant a tree. That is keep on giving. Every year, the forest department or Raj Bhavan governors are celebrating it. But once, next time they will come again, they are putting plant there also. So nature requires creation and maintenance. We all forget the maintenance. That is the part. That is the thing. Now, I was attending last year from here a commission's meeting of Delhi, and they are asking and putting a target to all universities that you have to make so much plant, that plants. So the question coming from the respective the professors that said we do not have place to. We have a very limited, we have very costly land. How can we plant so much? So it was very much difficult for them how to recognize that. But I'm not agree with that. हम लोग कहते हैं कि पेड़ के नाम पे पेड़ लगाओ. मैं कह रहा हूँ पेड़ के नीचे पेड़ लगाओ. You should create a wall. If you have a boundary, you make 3-4 tier of plantations, which are lacking in almost all universities, I can say. That is one point one has to take into consideration. I will not agree that universities are not having space. They should have a will. Will come from where? Will come from top. That is the mantra for all the universities. The government is trying very hard in that. Another example I wish to give of the government to UP, they have a Guinness Book, the 134 crores plants, they are doing it a single day. But as anybody has said that how many plants are survived back, that is a point. Why it is happening? Because we have not involved the people. So the first and foremost part that there should be an involvement of the people. It should be owned by the people. right? There are many places. If suppose if you go to the Dehradun, if somebody is just cutting a twig of lychee, there is a commission. Why this? But everybody will fight on that. You can save likewise. Similar situation has also come in Delhi, which I can say. So this is the another side. I would like to further say that the another important point, what we should plant. I'm sorry to say, whatever exotic we see and we get it done. We don't know how much loss or problem we are creating to environment sustainability. There are many trees which are creating respiratory problems, but we are planting in the campuses. So it is most important what kind of tree or vegetations you are planting in this. So this is the part of that. And I think I'm very much fortunate that I work in this university. I feel so happy that each and everybody comes and this all tulsi plants are being given to everybody. So I'm very, very happy and I'm fortunate enough that I'm working on this. This is the part. Now, again, question come, sustainability, you know, this is a very big subject and we got taken, but the only thing you say the global warming, you can't do anything to global warming. Only one thing, that is the only greenery. You create forest, you create trees. That's the only answer you have. You have no any other alternative to that as a society. The important part, the UGC has already implemented that there should be a course or environment, and we are all running that environment. If you ask the people, you other students, they are very expert on that. But I just want to know, are they their knowledge is converted into action? That is not happening. That is a requirement. Let me give again, I work in Dehradun for a longer time. We have initiated one, we have created one picnic spots with the forest department, and different colleges were going there. And that was a mandatory that we will provide a seedling to you. All students who will come over, they will plant over there and they will come again and they see whether the plant is surviving or not and put that things. So you have to involve the student with that. I just can, if you have places, the students are going to attend getting admission. Let you give one seedling to their parents instead of giving a good lunch of your choice, and plant at the respect and see that the day your kid has gone to the university, that's the tree, and keep on seeing how it is going on. So that kind of things we should do it. We really require everybody say that we want vegetation, but we are not doing it because there are many government can't do anything. I am telling you, whatever government has done, that is strictly has been done it. Very interesting. I work in the forest conservation. That you divert any forest land, if you get one tree, you will plant 10 trees. Tell me, one tree growing of 30 years, having so much mass, you are putting a 10 trees today. Can it be comparable? Not comparable. The next important part which I would like to see, that plant trees which people desire. That is more important. Let the students, when they are working in the university, they should not confine to the universities. They should go beyond the university campus and make things outside. People will appreciate. They are coming from different RWA societies. They should carry that message to the RWA, assess on basis on that. Please do not assess what they have written in that things, but assess on that thing. So I think if you to go, I saw the IFM Opal, many things. People is still having open theater lectures. We are sitting in AC. There are very good trees are available. You get a very fresh air. You may not able to sit in the summer, but you can sit during the other part of the day. That kind of thing has to come on that. Until unless we will not create a good environment of action, not book, probably we will not able to make our university green. We here, I think what is only, I can say one of the university which we are celebrating one Mahotsav every year. And we are making a lot of programs. We bring the people, and I will invest that thing that we Amity University is doing it. If each and every university should do it, that is to be linked on that. So unless my point is that we have a good knowledge, we have to convert in action, and there should be a will from the top. Only things can be done. I'm just stopping here. Let us discuss, and then we will have more discussion on that. Thank you very much for giving the chance.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I invite questions from the audience for the panelists. Any questions? Any points of observation?
Ma'am, since I believe that the recommendations from this panel definitely will go to AIU and from AIU to the respective stakeholders in the government. Because first thing we need to understand, if you allow me, ma'am, just to start with my point. There are two kinds of environments. One is natural environment and another is a built environment. Now, we have to understand whether the built environment has to be within the natural environment or the natural environment has to be within the built environment. So what's happening in the entire...
I may you see, supplement you with the information कि पहले होता था कि फॉरेस्ट में एनवायरनमेंट है, अब एनवायरनमेंट में भी फॉरेस्ट है, फॉरेस्ट में भी एनवायरनमेंट है. सो इट्स वाइस वर्सा, क्योंकि अब हम मैन मेड जंगल्स हैं. यू हैव अ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल मैन मेड जंगल इन रायपुर. दे हैव क्रिएटेड वन जंगल इन रायपुर, मैन मेड. So it's there. So now both ways are going.
Yeah. So the recommendation, if it can go from your end, is that this FAR kind of thing in built environment, it actually is not known to someone who is developing a university campus, that what will be the FAR allowed building floor area in next 50 years. So any building or any campus we develop is for more than 50 years. So if I know that after 10 years, the FAR will be X, after 20 years, it will be X plus plus, after 30 years, it's like that. So in advance, the planning can be done. So what's happening is the density...
Sustainable, you see. Earlier you had thatched roofs, green roofs. They were not sustainable. Every year they built their roof again. So working towards long lastivity, you see, longevity is not going to get you to what we require as sustainability, right? So that is one question. Sustainability is more important than the longevity that we are considering here. But you see, let me introduce some very crucial issues which have not been touched by the panelists. See, he has talked about tree plantation, which plant to plant and how to plant, when to plant, where to plant. These were the issues that he took up. Who is to plant? Where is the plant is to be planted, right? So these were the issues that he took up. We are talking a lot about tree plantation as a solution to the environment problem. But he referred to also the greenhouse effect, the rising climate, rising temperature, and the changing climates. See, only plantation drives are not going to get you the solution to the problem. This is one solution to the problem. Now, we are sitting in this room, right? We are sitting in this room. This is a green campus. Where is the ventilation? Where is the light coming from? You are totally depending on this session for refrigeration, air conditioning, and electricity. right? This is a very, very crucial question. Where is energy coming from? Where is energy coming from? Is it not going to have a hazard on the environment? We have never raised this question. People, you see, nowadays, we and I, सर ने कहा कि बहुत गर्मी है, हीट वेव्स है. आज से 10 साल पहले मैं 2 बजे एक गांव में गई जहां कॉलेज था, और वहां मैं फ्लाइंग स्क्वाड में थी. और जब मैं 1:30 बजे अपने प्रोफेसर के साथ जा रही थी, तो मेरा पसीना निकल रहा था कार में, क्योंकि उस वक्त कारें भी मारुति 800 होती थी. तो उस मारुति 800 में पसीने निकल रहे थे, और मैंने अपने प्रोफेसर को बोला कि सर इतनी ज्यादा गर्मी है, इन बच्चों के साथ जाती नहीं है, ये बस्ते उठाकर और बैग उठाकर अपने, और चले हुए हैं इस समय स्टेशन की तरफ और बस स्टैंड की तरफ, इनके साथ बड़ी जाती हो रही है. उन्होंने कहा मैडम आप भूल गए, हम भी ऐसा ही करते थे. एंड दैट वाज अ रियलिटी. दैट वाज अ रियलिटी, क्योंकि हम भी उसी गर्मी में अपने, अब तो बच्चों को होल्ड ऑल नहीं उठाने पड़ते, आपने और हमने तो होल्ड ऑल उठाकर हम अपने सेंटर्स तक गए हैं, लेकिन हमें कभी लू नहीं लगी. आज भी आप ब्रिक लिंस में चले जाएं, वहां के बच्चे बिना कपड़े पहने हुए इसी हीट वेव में घूमते हैं, उनको कोई बीमारी नहीं होती. हमारे बच्चे हमने पलोस लिए एसीज के अंदर. मेरे पास अभी एक मेमोरेंडम आया है, मुझे मेरी स्टूडेंट यूनियन कहती है कि हर क्लास में एसी लगा दो. डू यू नो व्हाट इज द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ एसी एंड व्हाट इज द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ एसी ऑन द ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस? इसको छोड़ दीजिए, हम कभी डिसिप्लिन नहीं कर रहे हैं कि हम कब के एसी खोलेंगे, कितने टेम्परेचर पे रखेंगे उसको. मैं सिर्फ इसलिए नहीं कह रही कि भी मैं एसी यूज नहीं करती, लेकिन मैंने अब की बार ढिठाई कर ली थी कि मैं मई से पहले अपने कमरे का एसी ऑन नहीं करूंगी. ना मैंने किया और ना मैंने करने दिया. Now, this is the type of self-discipline which we need. And believe me, if you want to become like that, you can. You will be surprised to know my family sleeps in AC. I sleep in non-AC, non-cooler room. Still, इसी हीट वेव में मरी नहीं हूं, कोई बीमारी नहीं हुई, कुछ नहीं हुआ. But before we preach, practice it yourself. Okay, just let me add one more thing. We have never talked about vegetarianism to our students. कभी नेट पर चले जाइए, there is plethora of literature available on it, how vegetarianism is good for greenhouse and how non-vegetarianism is bad for environment. एक आदमी कितने हिस्से में अगर वो घास फूस खाता है, फल फ्रूट खाता है, तो कितने हिस्से में उसको फल फ्रूट उग जाता है, और एक जानवर जिसको मार के खाना होता है उसको कितनी देर पाला जाता है और कितनी वो भूमि का उपयोग करता है, और उस तरह किस तरह वो ग्रीन हाउस इंपैक्ट को नेगेटिवली इंपैक्ट करता है. Now these things are data based. ये डाटा बेस्ड बातें हैं, झूठी नहीं है. So when we advocate vegetarianism, we are basically talking about environment sustainability. So these are also the issues which we think we should think about. So केवल इतना नहीं है कि ये कंस्ट्रक्शन कैसे होगी. सर ने कहा रिसर्च इनोवेशन, वेरी गुड थिंग. आपका ये बिल्डिंग बनी है, क्या ये फ्लाइंग ऐश की ब्रिक से बनी है या दूसरी ब्रिक से बनी है? अगर ये फ्लाइंग ऐश ब्रिक से बनी है तो ये एनवायरनमेंट फ्रेंडली है, इनका टेम्परेचर भी दूसरे के कंपैरेटिवली थोड़ा सा अंदर का लो करता है वो. तो हम क्या इस तरह के उपयोग कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि अगर हम फ्लाइंग ऐश को देते हैं तो वो लैंडफिल में चली जाती है. अगर फ्लाइंग ऐश को यूज करते हैं एज ब्रिक्स तो वो लैंडफिलिंग कम हो जाती है. प्लास्टिक यूज किस तरह हो रहा है? देखिए, हम सब यहाँ बैठे हैं, हमारी मजबूरी है कि हम इस प्लास्टिक बॉटल का यूज कर रहे हैं, लेकिन आपको पता है कि कितने नैनो पार्टिकल्स प्लास्टिक के आपके अंदर जा रहे हैं? क्या हम आपको याद होगा, आपके पापा या मम्मी जब नौकरी करते होंगे तो एक स्टील की बोतल अपने साथ लेके चलते थे, जाते थे सर, है ना? अपना लंच बॉक्स भी स्टील का होता था, प्लास्टिक का नहीं होता था. उसी स्टील के अंदर हम डाल के खाते थे. लेकिन अब वी आर डिपेंडिंग, वी डोंट वांट. अगर हम आज एक वाइस चांसलर एक स्टील की बोतल में पानी लेकर रोज आता है तो वो ऐसा समझा जाता है कि पता नहीं क्या चीज है. तो अच्छा साइन नहीं माना जाता कि हम पानी नहीं प्रोवाइड कर रहे. So basically dependence, lesser dependence on plastic, thinking of the hazards that the nanoplastic, micro plastic is creating for us. Plantation is no doubt very very important. और सर ने बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट किया कि जो एक्सोटिक प्लांट्स हैं, हम देखते हैं सुंदर पाम कैसे लग रहे हैं, या हमने ओक कैसे लगाना है, या हम सिल्वर ओक लगा रहे हैं, पाइन लगा रहे हैं. मुझे भी बड़ा अच्छा लगता है. मेरे अपने कैंपस में, यू विल बी सरप्राइज टू नो, मेरा ऐसा माली है जिसने मेरे गार्डन के अंदर भरी गर्मी के अंदर भी पाइन भी उगा रखा है, सिल्वर ओक भी उगाया हुआ है, और रोज पालता है उनको. तो ये सब अच्छे तो लगते हैं, लेकिन जरूरी है कितना पानी हमारे लिए ले रहे हैं. हमारा ग्राउंड वाटर लेवल डिप्लीट हो रहा है. क्या आज भी हम अपनी कारों को बाल्टियों से धो रहे हैं? So that again is important. क्या हम पाइप लगा के धो रहे हैं? So these are little things which are very very important, and you have to create a sensitivity among the students. Sir ने कहा कि governance is one thing, second is execution, third is the target. मेरा सिर्फ लास्ट पॉइंट आपको यह है कि जब तक आप सेंसिटाइज नहीं होंगे, आप अपने बच्चे को सेंसिटाइज नहीं कर सकते. एज टीचर्स सर ने कहा कि यू आर द मोल्डर्स ऑफ माइंड्स एंड यू आर मोल्डर्स ऑफ डेस्टिनी only because through your sensitivity drives, through your community outreach drives, through your own self disciplining, थ्रू परसुएडिंग अदर्स. बहुत बार बच्चे मानेंगे नहीं, लेकिन आपको मनाना पड़ेगा उनको. बच्चे अभी टाइम नहीं है इसी का, एक दिन और रोक लो, एक दिन और रोक लो. सो परसुएड देम. और ये परसुएशन हमें करते रहना है. उससे बच्चे मानते हैं. शुरू शुरू में तंग होते हैं, लेकिन फिर बच्चे मानते हैं. तो आप धीरे 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 उनको अपने हाल पर ढालिए. और आई थिंक कलेक्टिव एक्शन प्लान, एक कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव एक्शन प्लान, कलेक्टिव भी होगा और कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव एक्शन प्लान भी होगा, जिसमें प्रिवेंटिव भी होगा, रेफर्मेटिव भी होगा. उसी तरह का प्लान कामयाब होगा. आई विश ऑल ऑफ अस बिकम ए पार्ट ऑफ द ब्रिगेड टू एडवोकेट फॉर ग्रीन एनर्जी, renewable energy, green campuses, and sustainable future. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Your points are very valid. What I just use one word, that is called lifestyle. And I think our Honorable Prime Minister has already given our what kind of lifestyle we should do it. That is available in the website of MOEFCC. At that main point over here, you said that time we used to do that, but there was something different. My father was not knowing. I was having four sons, 3 sisters. कौन कहाँ जा रहा है? They want more. Today, a student or the kid is not bothering, but their parents are much bothering. You know, single child, इसको नुकसान हो जाए, इसको जाए. So that thing has come up. So we have no option. Lifestyle will change, and we may not able to stop it. But mitigations can be done. Just now, I concentrating on what should be done at the institution level. We should do carbon neutral. Each and every institution should be a carbon neutral. The second important point, they should be zero wastage. If we able to do these 2 things, I think we can able to do that. And that is not every university is trying to justify that we are doing just to get accreditations. Accreditation should not be the criteria. See that how how much you children has done an actionable job, that they have created this thing. Now again, I am going, the government of India just changed this AC guideline that your AC should not go for 18 to 26, 20 to 26. Believe me, we at my home, I always run at 26, but when I come over here, I start at 18 because cost involved. Right? So I'm not bothering, but certain guideline has to be changed like this. The university has to come forward. To what extent? Let me give good example of myself. I have no hesitation to say, when I go into the corridor of J1 block, I used to keep on off light. But when come back to that, all lights on. So that it is very, very much important. We have to assert on lifestyle and make each and every institution a carbon neutral and zero wastage. There are good example of Paryavaran Bhavan, which has been created carbon neutral surplus. Yeah. So I think better there should be some kind of reaction from the youngsters.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for this enlightening session. I think we had talked about the plastic, the water, the plantation, but we haven't talked about the clothings, the fast fashion, which is a huge problem nowadays because these goes to landfill. We are buying clothes every day. There are so many malls opening. छुट्टी में सब लोग कहाँ जाएंगे घूमने मॉल में जाते हैं और कपड़े खरीद के लाते हैं एंड देन either it is stored in a cupboard or it is given away somewhere and it is going into landfill. So this is a very important aspect. We also should be talking about less buying of clothes or recycling or whatever. So that is one point which I think should be made. Yes, they are not biodegradable and they stays in the land. They go for landfill and they stays for years, more than 700. So I tell you one thing, I take an initiative to collect all the clothes which are called katran, जो टेलर्स बुटीक्स वाले जो है ना वो लैंडफिल के लिए फेंक देते हैं तो मैं उसे कलेक्ट करती हूँ एंड देयर आर गर्ल्स who make bags out of it and then we again upcycle it so we can use certain matlab, this is one aspect what I do but clothes are very important. Thank you.
I think it's a very, very relevant thing which you just said, and it reminded me of an anecdote. We were on a panel and we were discussing how to the whole textile thing is increasing emission. How do we reduce it? And one thought which came to my mind and I shared with the audience was, when we were young and we would have a school bag, that school bag wouldn't go waste after we passed out. It will go to maybe your younger brother. From there, it will go to your cousin. From there, it will go somewhere else. Similarly, clothes will get passed on to the younger generation, so much so that finally it will become a pocha at home. And then it will go. And the reason was that, nobody went every 2 months and bought a new set of clothes. And parents wouldn't encourage it. Even if parents could afford it, they'll say, why waste? That spirit has to come back. And Shalini is not here today, but she would have spoken a lot about circular economy today and given you example of what can be done. But you're very, very right on this one. We don't think about it, but it's a huge issue.
Can you give my
Yeah.
I would like him to speak some. Whichever you आज जितना भी कुछ बोला गया उसमें क्या अच्छा लगा क्या बुरा लगा उसमें कितनी बात yes come on.
I totally agree with whatever you all just said, especially with sustainable fashion is a new trend. And I think there are a lot of brands, like upcoming brands, who work with sustainable textiles. But I think whenever we talk about sustainability, price is what we forget. Everyone in our country is not like up to that level that they can afford everything which is sustainable. So when we talk about textiles, sustainable fashion is a new trend, but it is very expensive and everyone cannot afford it. Brands like Zara, H&M, they are like fast fashion brands, and the price and the style that they provide, I think it's because of that that everyone is into fast fashion right now. And yeah, so that's what I think.
In my city, there is one wall which is known as Neki ki Diwar. So there people dump their, you see, clothes junks, and poor people come and they take away the junk. So that way, Neki ki Diwar is working. So you can also pool the waste junk that you have of clothes and dresses at home. And a very learned person in my life, on his 75th birthday, he called upon all those who attended that birthday to think of the junk that they have there in cupboards. तो हमें समझ नहीं आया कि जंक को हम समझे कैसे ये जंक है. तो उन्होंने कहा कि एक ही लाइन खींच दीजिए, जिस कपड़े को 1 साल से यूज नहीं किया, दैट इज अ जंक. तो मुझे उनकी बात बहुत अच्छी लगती है कि 1 साल से जो आपने यूज नहीं किया उसे आप जंक में डाल दीजिए. और यंगस्टर्स के लिए भी, और स्पेशली हम लोगों लेडीज के लिए बात कहा जाता है कि बहुत ज़्यादा शॉपिंग करती हैं, सेल्स में चली जाती हैं, जो चीज़ नहीं भी चाहिए होती है वो खरीदती हैं. वेल, देयर इज अनदर पार्ट ऑफ इट कि इकोनॉमी कैसे चलेगी अगर खरीदेंगे नहीं. बट यस, प्रिजर्विंग द थिंग्स in a manner which is good for the family, which conserves water, which conserves energy, which conserves the biohabitat. बस छोटी सी एक ध्यान रखने की बात है. एक दो मैं आई राउंड ऑफ दिस सेशन विद ओनली 2 quotes फ्रॉम इंग्लिश पोएट्स. एक ने कहा था कि we take but what we give, and in our life only does nature live. Ours her wedding garments, ours her shroud. हम प्रकृति से लेते ही हैं, देते उसको कुछ नहीं है. और अगर शिव की अर्चना करनी हो तो मेरे लिए एक बहुत ही, मेरी बड़ी उम्र की थी फ्रेंड, पर उसने मुझे सिखाया कि उसने अपना शिवलिंग ही अपने एक पौधे के अंदर रखा हुआ था, पेड़ के नीचे लगाया हुआ था, कि जब मैं शिव को जल दूं तो वो जल जो है वो पेड़ को जाए. और वास्तविकता में फिर मैंने साहित्य पढ़ा तो पढ़ा कि जो पेड़ है वो शिव ही है. पेड़ जो है वो शिव है. तो हम पेड़ को ही शिव का स्वरूप मानकर उस पर जल दे सकते हैं. तो इस तरह की आइडियोलॉजी देखना. दूसरा, मैं सुबह सुबह अपने कैंपस में घूम रही थी तो 2 जवान बच्चे झाड़ियों के अंदर दिखे मुझे. तो मुझे लगा ये कुछ गड़बड़ कर रहे हैं, या तो ड्रग्स ले रहे हैं या कुछ कर रहे हैं. तो मैंने वहीं खड़ी हो गई, मैंने उनको कहा बाहर आओ. जब वो बाहर आए तो उनके हाथ में एक थैला था. तो मैंने कहा तुम्हारे हाथ में क्या है, दिखाओ. खोला तो उसमें आटा था, और वो चींटियों को आटा डाल रहे थे. सो ऐसा नहीं है कि यंगस्टर्स सोच नहीं रहे हैं. एक चींटी इज ऑल्सो वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. किस तरह जो सर्कुलर सस्टेनेबिलिटी है कैसे चलेगी. तो मैंने जो कहा कि शिव की जो हमारी परिवार है, शिव का परिवार, वो वास्तविकता में वो सस्टेनेबल सर्कुलैरिटी के ऊपर ही बात करता है. सो हम थोड़ा सा धर्मशास्त्र के साथ जुड़ें, उसको रैशनलाइज करें, और फिर अपने एनवायरनमेंट को एक परमात्मा मानकर, हमारी तो पूरे धर्म में ही कहा है कि अग्नि देवता है, जल देवता है, हमने सबको ही देवता मान रखा है. तो फिर हम वो जब देवता मान रहे हैं तो उसका उपहास कैसे कर सकते हैं. पानी का, अगर हम गंगा जी को पवित्र मानते हैं तो गंगा जी में कचरा कैसे डाल सकते हैं अगर वो देव स्वरूप है. तो हमें सोचना होगा कि हमें अपने जल को, अपनी वायु को, अपनी वनस्पति को, अपनी बायोडाइवर्सिटी को कैसे बचाना है. सर ने तो शहतूत का नाम ले लिया. मुझे आई एम श्योर नन ऑफ यू मस्ट हैव ईटन दैट फ्रूट.
Oh no.
है ना. मिलता है आजकल बाजार में, तो मिलता नहीं है ना. और मुझे भी 20 साल के बाद, अब जहां मेरी नौकरी लगी है वहां शहतूत का पेड़ है तो मुझे खाने को मिला. तो जामुन का पेड़ खाने को मिला. तो कभी जामुन अगर आप खाते हैं तो गुठलियां इकट्ठी कर लीजिए. जहां बाहर जाते हैं कहीं ग्राउंड नजर आया तो वहां गुठलियां फेंक दीजिए, शायद एक गुठली पेड़ बन जाएगी. नमस्कार.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, esteemed panelists. This session was highly thought-provoking and action-oriented as well. And definitely we are going to follow the same, although the perspectives were different, but we all have the same goal, and that is being sustainable. So because of the paucity of time, now we are concluding. And I request the session in charge, Professor Dr. D.P. Singh, sir, to please felicitate the guests. Can we have a big round of applause for all our guests? Thank you all. Now let us all pause for a group photograph, please. Thank you so much, all of you. Now I request all the participants to please reach to F2 auditorium for the summing session. And I request the volunteers to please escort the guests to the F2 auditorium. Thank you all. Request you all to please reach to F3 seminar hall, please. Yeah. Summing up, F3. Okay.